You keep telling yourself the same comforting lie. You tell yourself that you are just a good person who happens to run into bad people. You wonder why you constantly attract manipulators, liars, and individuals who completely drain your energy. You complain to your friends about how unfair it is that your loyalty is always met with betrayal. You believe you are simply a victim of bad luck. You are not. The brutal, uncomfortable truth that you are actively avoiding is this: manipulators do not choose their victims by accident. They choose you because you are broadcasting the exact signals of someone who is easy to control. Your behavior, your words, and your desperate need for validation are writing an instruction manual on how to exploit you. And the predators in your life are reading it perfectly. If you are constantly confused by human behavior and repeatedly blindsided by the people close to you, the problem is not that you cannot read them. The problem is that they can read you easily. In the next few minutes, we are going to dismantle your ego. We are going to expose the subconscious habits that make you a magnet for toxic behavior. You will learn how dark triad personalities scan the room, what exact weaknesses they look for, and why your idea of being nice is actually destroying your status. Most importantly, I will give you the psychological framework to shatter this identity forever. Write this down immediately. Predators do not hunt the strongest in the herd. They hunt the most predictable. By the end of this protocol, you will stop being an easy target and become entirely unreadable. Let's look at the signals you are broadcasting. The first and most fatal mistake you make is over-explaining yourself. When someone questions a decision you made or asks for a favor you do not want to do, you cannot just say no. You feel a massive wave of anxiety. You offer a reason, then a backup reason, then a long, drawn-out apology. You wrap your refusal in so much justification that the refusal itself completely disappears. You think you are being polite. A manipulator sees something entirely different. They see someone who does not trust their own authority. When you over-explain, you are handing the other person the power to judge whether your reason is valid or not. You are actively seeking their permission to hold your own boundary. Manipulators feast on this. The moment they realize you need their validation, they know they can break you. They will simply reject your explanation, apply a little bit of guilt, and watch as you immediately cave and do exactly what they want. If you want to stop being a target, you must learn the brutal art of the unapologetic response. No, I cannot make it. Full stop. Do not explain. Do not apologize. Let the silence sit there. It will feel excruciatingly uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is the exact feeling of taking your power back. Your second weakness is even more obvious. You are completely incapable of handling tension. When a conversation gets quiet, you panic. You rush to fill the void with nervous laughter, useless stories, or self-deprecating jokes. If someone is visibly upset, even if you did absolutely nothing wrong, you immediately try to fix it to relieve the pressure in the room. You are practically screaming to the world, "My emotional state depends entirely on you being happy with me." Predators use this against you seamlessly. They will intentionally create awkward silences just to watch you squirm. They will give you the cold shoulder, knowing that your anxiety will force you to overcompensate. You will end up doing them favors, buying them things, and sacrificing your own time just to get them to smile again. You are doing all the work, and they are doing absolutely nothing. The people who command absolute respect are the ones who can sit in heavy, uncomfortable silence without flinching. When tension arises, the weak person rushes to resolve it. The dangerous person simply observes it. The next time someone gives you the silent treatment, give it right back. Let them choke on their own awkwardness. Now, let's address your most dangerous delusion. You confuse weakness with kindness. You let people interrupt you, you let them cancel plans on you at the last minute, and you let them speak to you disrespectfully. And instead of correcting them, you tell yourself that you are taking the high road. You tell yourself that you are just a forgiving, empathetic person. Stop lying to yourself. You are not taking the high road. You are just afraid of conflict. You avoid confrontation because you are terrified that if you stand up for yourself, the person will leave you. But here is the paradox of human psychology. People do not respect what they can easily step on. Every time you allow disrespect to go unpunished, You are essentially training the other person to treat you worse. You are proving to them that your boundaries are just suggestions. A manipulator tests the waters early. They will make a slightly disrespectful joke or show up 30 minutes late without apologizing. They are not making a mistake. They are running a diagnostic test on your self-esteem. If you laugh it off or say, "It is okay," you fail the test. You have just been marked as a high-value target for exploitation. It is time to execute a hard reset on your identity. To stop being the victim, you must stop operating like prey. Prey is reactive. Prey is desperate to be liked. Prey moves quickly, speaks nervously, and constantly scans the room for approval. You must adopt the psychology of the apex observer. You must become a vault. This means slowing down every single one of your reactions. When someone praises you, do not glow like a child receiving a sticker. Say thank you and remain completely centered. When someone insults you, do not defend yourself. Look at them clinically, as if they are a fascinating psychological experiment, and say absolutely nothing. Your lack of reaction will absolutely terrify them. You must accept that being respected is infinitely more valuable than being liked. Being liked is a fragile state that depends on you constantly pleasing others. Respect is a fortress that you build by holding your ground, even when it is unpopular. Let the weak filter themselves out. When you start enforcing these new, cold boundaries, a very predictable thing will happen. The people who have been feeding off your weakness will get extremely angry. They will call you arrogant. They will say you have changed. They will try to make you feel guilty for no longer playing your assigned role as the emotional punching bag. Do not argue with them. Let them leave. Their anger is simply the tantrum of a parasite that has just been cut off from its host. As you purge these people from your life, you will begin to attract a completely different caliber of human being. You will attract people who value your time, who speak to you with respect, and whose actions actually match their words. Not because you got lucky, but because you finally built a psychological filter that destroys manipulators at the front door. You are the architect of your own social reality. Stop offering yourself up as collateral damage in other people's games. Stop hoping they will suddenly treat you better, and start making it impossible for them to treat you poorly. While others complain about being used, you choose to become completely untouchable. That is the dark truth of human dynamics. Subscribe to the channel to keep seeing reality clearly. Stop playing the victim. See you in the next protocol.